Hello everybody and welcome back to Camel Studios. It's already episode number 4, but wait, what's going on? The footage is basically episode number 2 or whatsoever. But yeah, obviously I couldn't have shown that because on Monday there was this kind of hilarious little Pimp My Ride video on my channel, and this is basically now the making of the Chief Beef Customs garage, tuning garage I should say, and the whole thing I used in this video. So basically this is now the backstory to what has been published on Monday. And before I go on with talking you through this video, make sure to watch the Pimp My Ride video, because otherwise you don't know what I'm talking about. And from the reception of people commenting down below, I feel like you guys liked the video, and it was really hard for me to cut this video because I was laughing the whole time so hard. But yeah, make sure to watch it. The link is down below in the description. It's also on my channel. It's pretty obvious because the thumbnail is, yeah, it's a little bit obvious. Let's call it a bit in your face. But anyways, that's all about Pimp My Ride. Anyways, in general, it's in your face. But nevertheless, it's very funny, I guess. At the end of the day, I am more than happy with the outcome. It was planned actually as an April Fool's joke, but starting to do this, I really found that this is a extremely funny thing to do and a extremely cool thing to do, so it was a little bit too much for an April Fool's video. I also wanted to keep the idea and yeah, just realize it to the certain extent that it really is worth it, and it pays respect to the idea, because it's very obvious for me, Pimp My Ride. I had this idea in mind for like literally months, because I wanted to always make a Pimp My Ride video about actually a ride in Planet Coaster, like a coaster or a track ride or a flat ride or whatsoever, and call this Pimp My Ride, but that would be too obvious, right? And then it turned out that once the Studios update was released and I saw there is the color changing option and we have the recallable smoke, yeah, things just popped up in my head. My creativity was working as it should, and then I came up with this idea. I reached out to Advo and to Sylph, and huge thanks, by the way, to both of them, if they could drop down some lines for me, just to make this a little bit more versatile and a little bit more interesting, and so you don't need to have my stupid voice acting for every character, even though my voice acting was very good for the woman as well. I like it, how are you? Okay, I'm not doing this again, but you know, it was really hard to do this for me. I had tears in my eyes recording it, for once because of being self-ashamed, but secondly because it was just too funny, as I said at the beginning. Anyways, I just wanted to talk about this because basically what you see in the background is now me building the Pimp My Ride garage basic shape, which is Chief Beef Customs, as I said, and I was highly inspired, obviously, by pretty obvious normal tuning garage. So in the end of the day, there is not that blueprint of a tuning garage, but they always have the same kind of stuff, right? So they always have the painting room, they always have like this hydraulic thingy which lifts up the car so people can walk underneath and check if everything is right, if the exhaust is working, if anything is broken, I don't know, if the oil delivery pump is leaking or whatsoever. So, you know, this kind of stuff. Then you have big, very high scaffoldings where all the tuning parts are stored in, and you will have, obviously, which is the thing I'm most proud of, you will see at the end, is like a little office room where you basically sit down together and discuss what you're going to tune, and where the little reception is where people can come in and talk to, you know, the tuning guys and talk about the ideas, and everything else just happens in this big open garage. So that was basically the main idea about the building, and then I wanted to make it from the outside look actually like a garage, but also a tiny little bit like a studio, because it was always planned to be part of the studios, and this is also why I chose to go with Chief Beef Customs, because I am not quite sure how long the Pimp My Ride video will be online. I'm quite certain that there will be a copyright strike at some point. I tested it. I uploaded a Pimp My Ride intro. Like, the intro was cut already a few weeks ahead, so I tested if I could use the actual music, at least for the intro, and everything else is just like done on my own. You know, I even redid the whole intro. It's literally just the music, but that alone should be enough to get at least a copyright strike somewhere in the future, but honestly I don't care. So if it is the case, the video will be deleted. I don't know, they will say, oh, you should put it down or whatsoever. It's fine, but I guess it's very obvious that this is a parody and nobody will, you know, make too bad things with it. So in the end, I just risked it because I think it's worth it. I tried around a little bit with a different intro, I have to say, but it just didn't work out. So I just said to myself, come on, just let's try it. My channel is not that big so that it would be, you know, an immense problem. If that video would have gone viral, I would have put that down for sure, but with the amount of views it has at the moment, there's nothing I should do about this because it's totally fine. But anyways, now let's talk a little bit more about what is going on in the background. So we have the little car, which I'm going to tune a tiny little bit. So I'm working with some body parts. I could have gone even more crazy, but I wanted to maintain it kind of normal. I also thought of going way too crazy, but then it turned out to be just, yeah, stupid looking for once, but also, you know, it didn't fit into the episode. So what I did in the end is I just built this little car out of the pieces that I thought would suit. It was a little bit problematic because there weren't too many pieces that did fit the style well enough, so I used some vents and stuff, and also you can see also the sequencer, the new one, which has some more tiny little things. And yeah, I don't know, I think it turned out pretty nice, though it's not too crazy tuned. I would have wished there is one car with the trunk open, because I would have wished to put some sound machines and stuff in and then make some hilarious jokes about what they put in the cars, because honestly that was just, watching back some episodes of Pimp My Ride, I couldn't believe what they even packed in. I mean, from 2018's standpoint, it was so funny. Like, they really, and look what we did. We put in a 27-inch DVD player whatsoever in your car. And it was like, yeah, cool. A DVD player which is like 7 meters thick, but hey, 27 inches, the screen size is 12 inches because the border or the bezel is like 27 inches alone. So like, it was really funny. I mean, obviously back then it was like state of the art, but it's so hilarious to watch. And so I also was about to put like a whole stereo speaker in, but like literally the big speaker from Planet Coaster. So, you know, I could have made that a little ridiculous sound machine, but I got at the end away with the idea to keep it as normal as possible to maintain the nice look of it. And then I found at the end of the video that I could actually use the driving car to make the driving scene, and that also forced me to make the car as easy as possible, because obviously in the end scene where the car is driving, I couldn't use basically I couldn't use the themed car because, you know, it is a normal car. So shooting it from a wider angle, it wasn't too bad, because actually you couldn't see too much if the tuning parts are on or not. I mean, most of you will have spotted, but I think there is not that big of a cut, so it's totally fine. I'm not too, you know, I'm not too dissatisfied with the outcome, so I guess it was the right move. Yeah, talking about the pathing over here, you can see this is still the old version where we had the brighter asphalt color. So this is way back to the very first days of the Studios pack, which yeah, forced me later on to change a little bit of the textures, but I guess it still worked out pretty nicely. And you can see I used again the little technique. I think I'm going with it now, like always, because we have so many pieces in the game, and at least to get a simple idea of what I wanted to build, I kind of got into the flow of just popping down some pieces I think that could work well together. In the end, I'm going to search again in the menu again, obviously, but for, you know, using those pieces, it totally makes sense for me at least to throw them down to the bottom, just to have them there, and, you know, just to copy them around a few times if I want to. Also using all these animatronics obviously to try to resemble some of the working guys in the garage, which wasn't too easy, but it was good at least to get an idea of what I wanted to do and whatnot. But yeah, I guess it's what it is. I had to work with what I have, and in the end I am also quite happy with what it turned out to be. But yeah, speaking of the studio pack and speaking of pieces, oh god, that's the worst segue ever. But there's still a DLC giveaway running at the very moment. So if this video is live, it will be until midnight. You still have the chance to take part in this little kind of giveaway race. If you want, so go over to my Fortress Camelot video, check the description, because there is everything what you need to know. But I also should warn you, if you want to take part today, that will be a hard one, because it definitely would have been easier once you listen to it on Saturday. But for those of you who hear the first time now about the giveaway, which I have running still at the moment, this is, down to the fact that I wanted to make this giveaway to be a little bit more, not private, but actually for those who really listen to the commentary. I think it's, I also want to, if I make a giveaway, put this in the title of a video and put this in the description and in the first comment and everywhere else. You will have a lot of people that just come to you because of the giveaway and because there is stuff to get. And this is totally fine for certain moments and for certain activities, and always after a giveaway and to grow your channel, it's all fine. But I also want to reward the people that are actually listening and that are actually interacting. So I made this one a little bit more tricky than before, but not saying that's impossible to get the one. So if you are if you're free today, if you have a little bit of time left today, you can still have a fair amount of or a fair chance to win, I should say, the DLC code. So that's everything I wanted to say. I just wanted to repeat also why I did it the way I did it, and just to explain it a tiny little bit. But yeah, now coming to the most unique and iconic part of this garage. This is the wall with the hanging rims onto it, and I guess this is also one of the most iconic things in general to a tuning garage. You always have this kind of wall with the graffiti on it, and you have some wheels and rims hanging around. Obviously we don't have any rims solely without the wheel, without the tire or the rubber around it, so I ended up with using the whole wheel. But yeah, I guess it is what it is. But yeah, basically what you will see now till the end of the video is the finishing parts of it. It was a whole lot of work to put this all together, since this is really tricky. But I used a whole lot of different pieces I haven't used ever before. So it's always cool to just start over again and go into a totally different theme, which it is. It's part of the studios, but a tuning garage is something I never did in Planet Coaster. I actually never did in any builder game or whatsoever. So yeah, I think it turned out pretty decent, I have to say. I'm really happy with it. And we're gonna have a track ride experience going through this one later on, so I will use this, which is also the reason for choosing Chief Beef Customs as brand, and I'm not going with West Coast Customs or whatsoever. Obviously copyright strike, but I still want to make this one shareable via the workshop and stuff, so that you guys don't run into any problems using a Pimp My Ride or a West Coast custom thing. I don't know how pissed they will be or whatsoever, but I don't even know how active they are still. I just checked the internet. It seems there is not much going on with them any longer. I don't even know if they even really existed or if they also were just bought in by MTV. I have no clue at all. I mean, obviously this is all scripted and stuff wasn't really real back then, but yeah, I don't think so. But when it comes to copyright, people are, yeah, they are always there. Don't worry, rats are everywhere. So no, I'm just kidding, but I guess we have to keep in mind that it will potentially happen. But anyways, yeah, you can also see I found a good usage again for the kind of spherical 360 screen thingy, because if you turn it around, it has a pretty decent bottom texture, which is a little bit looking like asphalt. or concrete. So if you turn it around, it gives you a really decent look to it. And yeah, I kind of used it. But now we are coming to what I said at the beginning is the part I am most proud of, and this is the little office area. So I used the rotors of the helicopters to make these kind of little ventilator things. Is it even called like this? I don't have any idea if this is the English word for it. Basically those things which are rotating at the just near the ceiling of your of your room to make it the airflow a little bit more nice. That's basically what it is. But yeah, you can see this little glass table over here, which is kind of a little bit more modern looking. I used some candy pieces and stuff. I ended up with a fountain bottom side to resemble kind of a little carpet. But I also wanted to put down some newspapers on the thing. And yeah, it's not exactly in scale, but at least it's in scale for the animatronics, which was the target, because as you have seen in the video, I used the animatronics as people. But yeah. So guys, that should be it from my side with the commentary. I hope you enjoyed this video, and please be active in the comments. Let me know what you think about the you know, Chief Beef Customs tuning garage. And yeah, since the ride isn't built yet, if you have any ideas what kind of ride we should build in here to make the Pimp My Ride slash Rexhibit slash whatever experience, give me some ideas, because the most ideas I got in these studio videos are great. So keep on posting those great ideas into the comments, and promise you in the next episode we are going through the comments again, so that I will read out some of your amazing comments also from the latest episodes with SPRidley. And yeah, as always, if you like that video, give it a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed yet, for whatever reason, do so for more quality content like Pimp My Ride. Have a good one, guys, and see you in the next episode. Camel over. Voice is over. Bye-bye.
We should be hiding out wherever we may find